What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 5 of Director's Spotlight. We are, of course, covering the entire filmography of the great Steven Spielberg here in Season 1. We are up to his fifth film, which is a movie called 1941. I'm your host, Nate. I am joined by my co-host, Alex.
Hello.
And Evan.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about this movie now. Before I do, and before I get into my little fun facts and we jump right into the review, you already know what I'm going to ask. Alex, have you seen this? Have you heard of it? Did you know Spielberg made this movie before this viewing?
I'm going to be honest with you, no. I didn't even know he worked with so many comedic geniuses in a movie. And I didn't know he made this type of movie. So, yeah, this is a first time for me.
First time watch and first time hearing about.
Yeah, pretty much both.
All right. Evan, how about you?
I've heard of it before, never seen it. Most of the things I have heard about it is it's low on their Spielberg list. So I've heard more hate for it than love for it. But this was a first time watch for me.
All right. So 2 first time watches. I have seen this movie. However, I had not heard of it until maybe maybe 4 years ago. That is when I watched it. So when I saw it was the first time I heard about it. It was in a little Steven Spielberg box set thing that I had gotten. I'm like, what the heck is 1941? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
And here we are. So this was second time watch for me, but I'll be honest, I barely remember the first time. Now, that being said, let's get into some numbers, let's get into some fun facts, and let's talk about the movie because I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts as well as giving you mine. Now, this movie came out in 1979, so we haven't hit the 80s yet. 5 movies in. We're still at the very end of the 70s here. This had a $35 million budget and a box office of $94.9 million. So it was not a flop in back in the 70s. Now, this has a 39% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, a 48% audience score. So not the greatest reviewed, definitely the lowest we've done by far. It's not even close. Now, here's a very interesting one. This was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. It did not win any. It was like cinematography, set design, or something, like technical stuff. It was no best picture, no best director, no screenplay, nothing like that. And it lost all 3, by the way. Now, a couple of fun facts. One of these I really like. The rest are just kind of basic. There was a lot of information on this movie, which is crazy because this is like one of the least known Spielberg movies, and yet I had to narrow down because I only like to pick 3 or 4 things. There was a page's worth of information on the Blu-ray. There's an hour and 41 minute making of documentary. I'm like, for this movie of all the movies, I tried to watch it. It was a little boring. It was mostly just interviews, and I was like,
I watched it. The only thing that I thought was interesting from I watched 45 minutes of it and I watched too much of it, was that this movie was bigger in Europe than it was in America. Like, people in Europe love this movie. And so I think that's why the audience score might be a little bit higher.
It could be. Yeah. I watched about 25 minutes of it and I was like, this is so dry. It's literally just people talking about it. It's interviews. And Bob Gale, bless his soul, one of the most boring talkers for a guy who wrote Back to the Future. You would think this guy's a fun guy. He's not a fun guy. He's boring. So watch it if you want. Okay, let me give you guys some information. 1941 received mixed reviews and was not as financially successful as many of Spielberg's other films, but it was still considered a moderate box office success. It received belated popularities after an expanded version aired on ABC back in the 80s. With subsequent television broadcast and home video reissues, it actually gained a cult following. You wouldn't think someone like Spielberg would have a cult movie, but here it is. This is the one that kind of has a following after the fact. And that expanded broadcast is the one that's on the Blu-ray, that expanded version or whatever, that would have aired in the 80s. According to Steven Spielberg's appearance in the documentary Stanley Kubrick, A Life in Pictures, Stanley Kubrick actually suggested that 1941 should have been marketed as a drama rather than a comedy, as he felt it would have helped it do better if people did not go in thinking it was a comedy. And I'll be honest with you guys, and maybe I'm going to stop here before I give the last 2 because I want to get your take. I think they could have easily cut a trailer for this that had no jokes in it that would have made it look like a war film. Like, I could easily see them doing that marketing. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. And I think that, yeah. And I think that would have been more fun because it would have been like, oh, we're now in the surprise. Like, I think I would have liked the Spinal Tap like a serious movie, but then it's a comedy. I think that could have probably done a little bit better. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Stanley Kubrick on that one. That would have been a hilarious thing to do, like catch people off guard.
I wonder how word of mouth would have been if people thought they were going into, it could have worked or backfired. It was it was 50-50 shot, but I think it would have been interesting. Okay. Now 1941 is also notable as one of the few American films featuring popular Japanese actor Toshiro Mifune. You guys, if you're not familiar, he was in Yojimbo. That's probably one of the movies that he's most known for, but he was in a bunch of Akira Kurosawa films. I believe he was in Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, Senjuro, High and Low, tons and tons and tons of Japanese films. This is one of the few American films. Also, it is the only American film in which he used his own voice for both the Japanese and the English parts. Now, I didn't speak a lot of English in this, but the lines he did, they were not dubbed. In any other American film he was in, his lines were dubbed over for the English speaking parts. So that's an actual fun fact. And here's my favorite one. So Susan Backlini, something like that, is the first victim in Spielberg's Jaws, appeared as the woman seen swimming nude at the beginning of the film 1941. So she reprised her role as naked swimming lady. It's the same lady from Jaws. And also, the gas station that Wild Bill Kelso, of course, played by John Belushi.
Yeah.
John Belushi. That gas station that accidentally blows up early in the film is the same one in 1971's film Duel, with Lucille Benson appearing as the proprietor in both films. So it's the same lady with the snakes in that movie was the gas station owner in this movie. So he kind of gave some nods to his own movies. Spielberg said, you know what? I like my movies. I'm going to go ahead and bring these people back. So I thought that was kind of I knew it right away, but just in case some people might see them way far apart, I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, let's get right into it because honestly, this is an interesting movie because it's so like lesser known. I would say this might be his least known movie. Like the one, even Sugarland Express, I feel like has that same sort of title, like a lesser known. But I feel like this one is even more lesser known than that movie in 2025.
This one and Always. I feel this one and Always are often
Always is another one.
Reason.
Yeah. Always is another one. So I want to dive right in and talk about this one. I'm going to go in the middle. We're going to let Evan go first this time. Evan, first time watch for you. What did you think of this movie?
I enjoyed it, but I only laughed out loud twice. Like for a comedy and with all these greats, I only laughed twice, and it wasn't at the comic, All the Geniuses. Like I didn't laugh at, I think, what the typical thing. So one, it was the very beginning with the guy seeing the naked swimmer's butt and just yelling Hollywood. I laughed. I was like, Hollywood, like that was like, wow. And I'm like going, this is PG once again, PG-13. I mean, that was pretty funny. And the other part was so random, it cracked me up. The two guys on the Ferris wheel, and the guy says, stop talking, and then pulls out his Vicosly dummy, and he starts talking.
The little puppet.
I died. Yeah, I don't know. I died. But the rest of the time, I did not like hate the movie. It wasn't like something terrible, but I'm not laughing. I'm not like, it's not hilariously funny. It's also hard to watch comedies by yourself because I watched it by myself. There's not someone else next to me, maybe laughing, and we're talking about the ridiculousness that's happened. But it's enjoyable. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. There's nothing like special about it. Like you have seeing all these actors together. Technically Spielberg's first World War II movie, and he's going to do a couple others around that theme. So this is his first movie about that. It's kind of fun to see it as a comedy. It's a well-made movie. I mean, Steven Spielberg behind the camera makes a good movie. So I'm not going to dive too much into it. It was well shot, well placed. The scenes and settings were awesome. I got annoyed with the dancing, the suit kids and the girl. I was like, that's a little annoying. I didn't understand where that was going. If I thought too closely about the story, the story falls apart because I don't actually know what's truly happening. Yeah. I don't feel like it was well explained, but it's enjoyable. I think a lot of people who hate it, I don't understand the hate for it, but I understand why it's not his beloved movie. It's not hilarious. And I kind of wish he did more and like worked on more comedies like this, because I don't think he was bad at it. I just don't think the script was up to par. One of the things he says he loved about the movie in the documentary is one of my criticism. It doesn't stop. It like your senses are on overload. Like there's no time to breathe. We're on to the next scene and something else is happening and there's something. And he says he loves that about the film. And I don't know why, but because to me, it was a little too much for me. Like I needed a breather because there's a lot that's going on. And I guess I didn't understand the humor, but it wasn't terrible.
Oh, all right. Well, so okay, cool. I mean, hey, what could be like, for a first time watch, at least it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I hate this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go second because I'm excited to hear what Alex has to say, and I just want to say what I want to say first, so that way he can have the floor. Because I have no idea which way he's gonna go either. He might love this movie, he might hate it, he might be like you, he might say it was okay. I don't know. Okay, 1941. Let me start with the positives, as always. The talent involved in this movie is like out of this world insane. So not only do you have Steven Spielberg directing, you have John Milius as a producer, who was a writer, director, producer back then, 70s, 80s. He worked with Francis Ford Coppola. He worked on like Apocalypse Now. He did the Conan Barbarian. I don't know if he was a writer for the Conan films. Red Dawn, a lot of popular movies. You got Milius involved. You got Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, writer and director of Back to the Future trilogy. Robert Zemeckis, in his own right, an amazing career. Maybe we do him on a future director spotlight. Who knows? Robert Zemeckis. He's like the acolyte of Steven Spielberg, pretty much. They're all involved. John Williams doing the score, of course. Just, amazing. So and then on screen, you got Dan Aykroyd. You got John Candy. You got John Belushi. Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries. They used to scare me when I was a kid. You got Ned Beatty is in this. You got Mifune is in this. Christopher Lee, freaking Dracula from the Hammer films. The cast is like, how and when? Especially for Spielberg. Isn't that what you would kind of think of a cast for him? So I think just the talent is impressive. I thought the score, I thought the music was really good. I actually really like John Williams' score. And he's kind of always had a thing with marches, right? Like, think of Star Wars. It's kind of like military sounding. And I think he knocked it out of the park. Like, the score is honestly one of the best parts of this movie. I think there is a scene that I loved in this movie. One scene. It was actually the airplane scene when the dude is up there with the girl and she's like, they're trying to have sex in the plane. Like, she's just like a crazy, weird, plane nympho. And then John Belushi's trying to shoot him down and they're flying. A fantastic scene. It was a great action scene. But then there's the comedy mixed in of these two in the plane, doing it. And he's just trying to shoot him down and all that. I thought that was a great scene. I think people should know what this plot is before I even go on. Let me tell you guys at home what this movie's about. This movie's basically after Pearl Harbor. The West Coast of America, in this case, California, and specifically Southern California, is preparing for the Japanese to attack them, pretty much. They're trying to prevent it and preparing for it. There's one Japanese sub that is out there there's a German soldier on it as well with them. And they want to come and, attack Hollywood, basically, because they're like, we got to get Hollywood. If we strike them there, it'll be a big success. And essentially, it's like a zany comedy about mistaken confusion. The American armies is very confused. They're shooting at each other at times. They don't really know what's going on. There's a little house on the beach that they want to take over and use to shoot guns out onto the water. And there's this family that gets involved. This is like Evan said, this is like a kitchen sink movie. As in, They threw everything out there, including the kitchen sink. It's like every idea they had, they wrote it on paper. They didn't. I don't know what they took out, but I can't imagine it's too much. I know they changed the name because the original title was like The Night the Japs Attack or something. And Spielberg was like, I don't think we could call it that. I think we need to change that title. And then it was changed to Rising Sun. And then it was ultimately settled on 1941. So I know they changed that, but I don't like this movie. I don't like this movie. That was my positives. I think the score is great. I think the talent is great. And I think that one scene is great. Other than that, there is too much going on. And it's not funny. It is I don't think I laughed once. Evan, I'm glad you got 2 laughs out of it. 0 for me. I think I smiled at that part where Belushi's trying to get in the jet and he falls off the wing, which, by the way, was a blooper, and Spielberg just thought it was funny and left it in, and he actually got like a concussion or something, but he's just like, well, that was kind of funny. I think I cracked a smile because I was like, I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Looked like it hurt. Other than that, I feel it's a waste. You're telling me you got Dan Aykroyd, you got John Candy barely even talks in this movie. He's just there. And Belushi, like, these guys are at the Blues Brothers. The Blues Brothers hadn't even come out yet. This was, a year or 2 before. They were about to become, you had them first and wasted. I think Belushi probably got the best of the 3 of them as far as like kind of the most storyline, but it wasn't funny. I did not laugh. And to me, and I don't know where you guys stand, but when a comedy is not funny, it's one of the worst movie experiences for me in general, because it usually offers nothing else. You know what I mean? This does have some action, especially in the third act. Like, there's a lot of chaos. There's like explosions, and there's the thing at the pier, and the Ferris wheel, and there's like torpedoes, and there's explosions, and sure, but like that's not the movie. If this was an action film with some humor in it, I probably would have liked it. But it being a comedy in the first act or the first half, really just straight up trying to be funny, but not really being funny. It's very slapstick, but not. I do like slapstick, but I don't like this.
If I was going to say, if they did a satire of like war movies of that time, that could have been like a little bit more funny. But I don't think it was making fun of war movies. It was just, what do we find funny and put it in the movie? Like, it didn't have a purpose.
It seemed like they were like, when they were writing it, they were like, this is funny. This is funny. This is funny. It threw it in there, shot it. Like, even the fact that this opens with a Jaws parody, even though it has nothing to do with, it's not really a parody or spoof film.
No.
So it's very weird. Like, I don't know why I did it. I don't get it. It's not that funny to me. So I don't like this movie. I like it very little. I think the score is great. I think it looks good. Okay, let me just, the Spielberg-ness of it, you could tell this is a Spielberg movie when you're watching it. As far as the direction, it is flawless. I don't have an issue. It's not like poorly directed. It's the script, and it's not for me. I did not find it funny. And I was bored for almost the whole movie. Even when the explosions start going on, I'm like, I don't care. I don't like any of these characters. Like Treat Williams' character that he keeps chasing after the blonde girl. Creep. Like a super creep. I'm like, what is this? He gets knocked out and he's still trying to grab this girl. He's like grabbing her leg. I'm like, she doesn't want you, dude. And then the heavier girl, she wants him. And it's this whole, and I'm like, this is not funny. None of this is funny. I don't know. I didn't like it. Alex, I want to hear what you thought of 1941, because I don't know. Maybe you laughed. Maybe you were like, I do like this. Because you like Blues Brothers. Not that this is like Blues Brothers, but you like that film. I hate that film. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. Alex, what did you think of 1940?
I will say this. I was very shocked, like I said before. I was very shocked with the amount, like you said, the amount of talent that was in this movie. And then the end result is the most shocking part for me. Because honestly, Evan, you said something that I wanted to laugh, but I laughed inside in my soul. And and it was, how can someone hate a movie? And I'm going to explain why I think this movie's horrible. This movie's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh.
Like, I hate this movie. And I'm going to explain to you why.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of comedy, but back then comedy. I'm not now. I don't like the new stuff now, but I do like 80s comedies and 70s comedies. And having this type of cast it's one of the weirdest things for a movie that's not funny. I did not laugh once. And Blues Brothers, I laughed a lot. For a musician, I thought it was funny. I mean, it's two guys, they're brothers, get out of jail, and they went to rob a bank for the orphan. Like, how cool is that? And then along the way, you have musical numbers. So you're like, okay, but it's not stupid comedy like this. This was just nonstop stupid. It reminded me of Val Kilmer's Top Secret, where it's just like it's a spoof on comedy, a spoof on spy movie, but it was just a stupid comedy like Hot Shots and Naked Gun. Like it was just like this, but told in a serious tone. And it did not work for me. It did not work for me at all. I was like, this is really horrible. John Belushi was good, but not funny. And he's a funny dude. If you see him in Saturday Night Live with the original cast, which was with Dan Aykroyd, those dudes were funny. You see this movie, it's not funny. Even the scene that I was like, I chuckled like even once. I was like, oh, okay. Is when he's flying the plane and he had the map. And then he sticks and he rips the thing because he's about to hit the mountain. And I was just like, okay, that's pretty dumb. But other than that, I'm just like, there was nothing funny, comical, like laughing. Yes, the cast is like crazy big. Even B actors. You got the sister from Back to the Future here, which was the fat chick. You got the mother from Jaws, which is the wife of my man, oh my God, Superman. Otis. Yeah. Like the guy who played Otis, his wife, Jaws' wife is Otis's wife in this movie. You have so many like actors that are B-list that you will go, oh my God, this is from this movie. They're all here. You're just like, wow, but their roles are horrible. Nancy Allen, RoboCop.
Yeah,
she's the crazy
Nancy
chick.
Allen, Treat Williams. I forgot to name them. They're in this as well.
Yeah, so you had all these roles. She's the horny lady that wants to bang this dude while flying in an airplane. It's stupidest scene, dumb scenes. I was just like, this is not funny. The plot, I did not know what the hell I was watching throughout the whole movie. I did not know. I was lost. 10 minutes in, I was like, what are we doing here? Like, you had the Japanese sub. They're doing their thing, which was not even funny. Like, even the stupid navigation system when it went all bonkers and stuff, and he's like flipping out. The naked chick in the beginning, that was a spoof on, that Jaws. It wasn't funny. Angelina called it. She goes, oh, I bet the submarine's gonna go right up her thing. And it literally did that. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, how is this funny? But at the end of the day, like I couldn't like this movie. Directing wise was great. Again, there's not gonna be a bad directing movie from Steven Spielberg. So I'm just gonna let you know right now. It's not gonna be a bad. But when it comes to content, that is what I'm going to be doing. And this movie stunk. Like, it stunk. It's not funny. I can't even put it up there with these guys, like, top tier stuff. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this was not funny. I don't know, man. It was just weird to sit back and enjoy. Because most of the time you're bored. The pacing is horrible. There's comedy every 2 seconds. So you can't even stop to absorb the comedy of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when there's a scene that they're in the tank, Dan Aykroyd has a pantyhose and he has oranges and he's like, look, I'm a bug. Like, what is funny about that? Like, what the like,
it's
what am I
funnier
doing?
You saying it than like
but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you explain this movie to someone, I guarantee you, if I explain this to somebody, I will make them laugh and they'll go, oh wow, this movie must be really good. And then when they watch it, they go, dude, this movie's horrible.
Like, I can't believe
that's
you
what
tricked
it
me into
is.
watching this.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the scene with the zoot suit, they're dancing off. And he's dancing and then he's running so he doesn't get beat up. And I'm like, this reminds me of Temple of Doom. Like, isn't this the same location of Temple of Doom? Like, if you put the tables to the corner and Indiana Jones just walked down the stairs, that's literally Temple of Doom.
It's like similar.
Like, so I'm just like, this is weird. I mean, there's a lot of locations that I feel like it was from certain movies that's coming down the line that we're going to cover, that it looks like the set pieces for. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. But look, a lot of faces that you're going to recognize. But again, it's just poor talent. It's just not poor talent. Sorry. Poor, whatever's on that script was poorly executed.
Yeah, it's the writing.
Yeah, because you know what? There was movies like Stripes. I think it was Stripes with Bill Murray and my man Harold Ramis. Yep. It's kind of the same
John
thing.
Candy.
Oh, and John Candy.
Yeah, that movie's pretty funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's the same style, but it's a funny movie. John Candy has some funny parts. Bill Murray, of course, funny. Harold Ramis, funny. This movie, you had Dan Aykroyd, John Candy, not funny at all. Like the minute you say that, John Belushi, you're thinking, oh, it's gonna be hilarious. Nope. Not even when he lands on the journey on the thing.
Like the beginning, just talking about the humor, because you just reminded me of like the type of humor in this movie, and I it's like they're trying to be funny, like the beginning when you're during the restaurant and they're like cooking on the flat top, and it's like kind of dirty, and then he's like spilling bottle caps on it. He's like, "Hey, look how crazy this is! He's cracking pancakes. Like, look at all this crazy stuff," and he's dancing, and that's the joke. There is no explanation to it. There is no, why is this funny? It's not even over the top. He's just like making a mess. And that's the joke. And then Tree Woman's like, I hate eggs. Why?
The whole gag,
What is the gag? Why do you hate eggs? And even if I don't know why, like, why is the one, there's only 2 jokes on it. It's the one where it gets on him, and it's when they offer him deviled eggs. And he's like, I hate eggs.
And then when he crashes with the girl from Back to the Future in the egg truck.
That's the big payoff, is they crash into an egg truck. Yeah. And he hates eggs. Whoop-de-doo! I mean, like, I forgot. I did chuckle one time. I lied. I smiled once and I chuckled once. I laughed when Ned Beatty ate the compass in the submarine.
Oh, yeah.
And then they want him to, like, crap it out.
Yeah.
That's not Ned
That was
Beatty.
The other old guy, the other white hair.
Yeah.
The cowboy guy from How to Dismantle the Bomb, whatever.
Yes. Exactly. That guy. That part made me laugh. Like the little comment, and he's like, eats it. And I was like, okay, it made me chuckle. But other than that, I agree with you, Alex. Not funny.
But it's not memorable.
No, it's
like
not.
If you tell me, I get by tomorrow, I'll be like, I don't know what I watched. I'll be like, what? Okay, whatever. It's not memorable. It's not at all. And if you notice, if you even do a AF, whatever it's called, TFI Lifetime Achievement Award for Steven Spielberg, that movie's not even on the list. There's nowhere near none of his movies that's on the panel or whatever.
I don't think they'd show a clip from it.
That's what I'm
doing
saying.
Like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Exactly. This movie's not going to be on it.
1941 in there.
It's going to be Close Encounters. It's going to be maybe Duel, because that's the first movie that started it off. Maybe a little bit of Sugarland Express. Jaws, definitely.
It'll be Indiana Jones.
Yes.
It'll be Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It'll be Saving
Color
Private
Purple.
Ryan.
Yeah, Color Purple, Saving Private Ryan.
They do that. They do the Empire of the Sun thing with the planes going over the young Christian Bell.
Yeah, they'll do that.
As a club. Yeah.
This doesn't even have that, like, even
an iconic moment.
It doesn't have one. That's what I was getting at. Like, there's not a single moment where you're like, that is a great individual moment that you could see. Like in even Sugarland Express, I think it does. When there's that shot on the hill and you have the car coming over and then that stream of cop cars coming, like, at least I remember it, and we watched that already like 3 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago now.
I remember when Goldie Hawn's walking to the prison, just that opening shot of her getting out of the cab and walking.
Yeah.
That was an amazing shot.
You will remember nothing from this in 2 weeks.
No,
like,
and even Goldie Hawn,
even
Goldie Hawn's in the back of the seat looking at the guy pushing the car, and he like smirks at her or winks at her or something. Like, so there's a lot of scenes that you will remember from movies that will be imprinted in your brain. This movie's not there. Like, for me, it's not, and especially with all these comedic geniuses, legends. I mean, legends on comedy, and you'll be like, whoa! And there's not one joke that you'll be like, oh my god, you're laughing out loud. Mm-hmm. There's no moments, like you guys said, that's stamped in history. John Williams score, sure, okay, great.
It's great, but it's not like It's not like
it's not
well known, but it's good.
No,
and you guys, I forgot to say the one thing. Like, they make a lot of important facts. I think about the eggs. I could build off it, and doesn't know why. Like they paid Disney to have Dumbo featured as the generals watching this movie. But why is he watching Dumbo? Like, why did you go out of your way to make us know that he's watching Dumbo? He could have been any other movie. Yeah, it didn't have to be Dumbo. Like, but they made it feel like, oh, we're going to get like some important joke, like some kind of payoff, because they made it very clear that he's watching Dumbo, the Disney Dumbo, and they had to pay for that to get that in their movie. But there's nothing that comes from that. Like, there's no payoff there was no joke set up. It's just this general watching Dumbo.
Yeah, it was like an Easter egg thing, because there was a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. Like, if you really look at it, there's a lot of Easter eggs. But at the end of the day, you're right. There was no payoff for nothing. It was just like, it was just there to just be there. And it's just like, oh, okay. I want to see Dumbo. Whenever you guys are ready, you come back for me. And the dude is literally seeing Dumbo, and then the air sirens go off, and he's like, oh, what is it now? Like, it's so horrible. Like, the movie, like I said, the pacing of this movie is really bad. It's not bad. It's not worse than Close Encounters. It's not worse than Close Encounters. And you guys know how I feel about Close Encounters.
Yeah. But 2-hour comedy, especially in the 70s.
No, this is an hour 30. The extended is 2 hours and 30 minutes.
This
it's an hour 40.
This movie is a 1 hour and 59 minutes. The theatrical.
Yeah,
so 2 hours. That's a big ask.
But look at the extended.
Yeah, the extended one is 2 hours and 26 minutes. They're both too long. I didn't even see that.
Oh no, it's way too long. Yeah, it's way too long.
But a 2-hour comedy, even in modern times, is generally like.
And what did they take out to add 26 minutes back in? I mean, I don't know what you left on the cutting room table.
Yeah, I mean, this is, at the end of the day, it's a movie that, like I have all these movies. I own them. And even though I don't like it, I probably will keep it just because it's my favorite director. And I think it's interesting. I do, because it's like when you have a director who's known, like, we know their whole body of work, even though we haven't gone through every movie yet. And yeah, there's going to be ones that might pop up that you haven't seen yet, but like, you're familiar. You know what I mean? For this one kind of odd duck comedy, screwball comedy, zany movie that doesn't fit anything that came before it, and doesn't, like, look at the 3 movies before: Close Encounters, Jaws, and the Sugarland Express, and the 3 movies after: Raiders, E.T., and Temple of Doom. This is like a weird thing right in the middle of like this sandwich of stuff that seems like Spielberg would make. So I do think it's interesting. Like, when I watched it again, I think it looks great. I do. I love the way it's shot. I love the plane scene. I love the set when they're in that street, like that zoot suit, that whole riot part at the end. Like, as a movie, the way it's made and being into that stuff, I think it's interesting. But I agree with you, Alex. I don't like the movie. I think it is pretty bad. I blame it almost entirely on the script. There is no, like, the plot is it's too many characters. They're all scattered all over the place. And you go long stretches without seeing them. Like, when you're introduced to John Belushi, the next time you see him is a huge gap of time.
Yeah.
Like, why did you even show me him at that point? And then, like, who they're picking and choosing. Like, you have the guy with the girl in the plane. Like, what's the point? To set up that other scene with the plane chase? Like, I just feel like there was another way to do it. You have the guy, the guy that they confused for a general, that the guy who just wants to dance. And all of a sudden he's like in charge of the, I think they think that's funny. What if we had a guy who's normal and then they mistake him for a general? That could be funny, but is it in execution? I did not think so. So. I don't know. Okay, let's get some scores, because I think we pretty much covered this film. Evan, what did you give this movie?
I gave it a 5.
5 out of 10. Okay, so you're like kind of right in the middle. Like, you didn't hate it, didn't love it. 5. All right, Alex, what do you got?
Oh, I gave it a 2 out of a 10.
Sounds about what I thought from what you said. I gave it a 3 out of a 10.
I figured, yeah.
I was not into it. Most of my points are for it being a technically well-made movie with a good score. Like, I've seen horrible, bad, cheap, poorly made movies. This is not those. It's just boring and not funny.
I think that's what I went into thinking, that this is, because when people say this is Spielberg's worst movie, I'm thinking of it as a directorial, like, this is his worst movie.
Right.
I think it's his worst movie he's made, but it's still a good made movie, if that makes sense. Like, I was expecting trash, and then I didn't get trash, and I think that's probably why I'm a little bit more like, I probably will never watch this movie ever again.
Yeah. It's not poorly made. It's not a misfire in that regard.
Well, I gave it a 2 because, honestly, at the end of the day, yes, it's poor. I mean, it's poorly made. It's greatly made, but it's really horrible. It's really horrible. It's one of the worst. I have never seen none of his other stuff. I'm just saying, out of the movies that we see right now, the 5 that we just saw, this is the worst one. Like, the worst. Then comes Close Encounter for me.
But there's a big gap. Your score for that movie and this is
it's
like
a 4.
far.
I give it a 4 out of a 10.
Oh, that's true. Not that far. Never mind.
It's not that far. And I gave this one a 2. And that's how I was rating it because I was like, wait, what did I give Close Encounters? And then I went, wait a minute, no, this is worse than Close Encounters. So I can't give this one better. Like even with great actors. That's what I'm saying. Like it's really it's hard, man. It's really, I don't know. It's because if I'm going in there with directing and all this stuff, then yeah, I would have gave it a 4 maybe. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it as a piece of like content, me purchasing it, me sitting down and watching it. This is not a good movie.
If you're scoring, and a good way to score, especially for something like this, is almost like against himself, right?
Yeah.
Not against not against like all films that ever existed. How did my enjoyment, you're almost like scoring your enjoyment level versus the technical, because again, the technical, I'm looking
it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there.
There's one movie that I think is a huge miss that we have not done, but other than that, they're all going to be, and even that might be, I have to rewatch it when we get to it, but they're all going to be well made. They're all going to have good music. They're all going to have good casts.
Cinematography is going to look amazing.
Yeah.
So like all that stuff is going to be
just be like, was I entertained? Did I like the story? And that's where your rating is. So I totally.
That's how I'm rating. That's how I'm rating my scores. Am I entertained? Am I enjoying this movie? Do I think it's boring? Like, am I ever going to see this again?
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to go the way you guys are going to go, it's always going to be 4s and 5s because that is always going to outweigh, the story or whatever. I can't do it that way. With me, I'm never like that anyway with the technical stuff. So with me, I know how I'm going to be rating this thing. So that's why I'm like, this one is flat out a 2. This is bad.
But to be fair, I do get enjoyment from seeing some of that. Like I get enjoyment out of seeing nice cinematography. I mean, it's only 1 point difference, but like it factors in. But you're right. I totally get where you're coming from, and I think that's a smart way to do it because all these movies we're doing are his, and you have to kind of, you got to have something that separates it. Like what? Why?
I mean, think about this. This movie, if you compare this movie to the other movies, this movie has the best cast. The best cast. And I'm not talking about the movie.
Like,
I'm not talking about movie.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about the people that are casted in the film. This is the best cast that he has in 5 movies in. Yeah. And this is what comes out of it. And then you have a movie like Jaws that has not many big actors' names besides Robert Shaw.
Roy Scheider.
And Roy Scheider.
But then when this movie, though, was made, most of these actors were not big yet.
Oh, yes, they were. John Candy, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, all those people were their faces were there. They were big. They were comedy.
Robert Stack was well known already. Belushi and Aykroyd would have been on SNL.
Yeah, they were big. Yeah, they were big.
Candy was not. John Candy was like
he got later, got bigger.
Burger. Yeah, Beatty was already in existence.
But what I'm saying, even for movies though, they're not big name for movies. Like they're starting to become names.
But just the comedy people. I feel like everyone else is like pretty, But again, it doesn't matter. I agree. As far as talent level, this is his, and we have to look at everything looking back because it's 2025 and we're watching a movie from '79. This is hands down the most well-known cast he's had so far, and I would wager to say even has a better or more well-known cast than the next like 3 movies that he's done. Just as far as names that you can list off just by seeing them. Like, I know that person by name. So it's going to be interesting to see where this ranks. I'm going to guess towards the bottom for most.
I think this is the lowest score for all of us on Spielberg.
You're correct. Yeah, it is my lowest score. So there are 29 more movies that can dethrone it. I don't think so. Well, maybe. You never know. With that said, that is 1941. I'm interested to see in the comments if anyone likes this movie. So far, we haven't really. Mostly, it's been like, I haven't seen this yet. I'm going to watch it. Thanks for the review. I haven't seen this yet. Even because it was Duel and Sugarland Express. And I want to know, is there any fans of 1941? So, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, leave us a comment below. Let us know if you have seen this and if you liked it or if you've never heard of it, like Alex hadn't before we even started this. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up. It helps the video out. Subscribe if you're not already. And we will be dropping these every single Friday for the next foreseeable future. There will be a little gap for the holidays, but that might be like only a week or two gap. So before we wrap it up and I announce the next movie, did you guys have any closing statements you want to make about 1941, Evan?
No.
That says it all. Alex, any last word on it?
I do not. I normally would, but not this movie.
We said all our words. We told you everything we could. So that being said, the next movie, moving on to now we're getting to we had Jaws and Close Encounters, which are heavy hitters. Now we're getting back to the heavy hitters, and we're getting to the 80s. So in the 70s, you had 5 films. In the 80s, 7 films in the 80s. So we're going to start it off with, one of the most iconic movies, period, not just Steven Spielberg movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark from 1981. We recently talked about this on our live stream, but I purposely didn't go too in depth because I knew we were going to be doing this show. So we're going to be doing a full-on review, and Evan wasn't there for that. So Evan will be joining on this conversation, of course. That's next up, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Evan, I'd like to get a preview because now with your Close Encounters, your bombshell that you've seen it more than Jaws, this one, because I'm going to ask again on the next week, but how many times have you seen it? Is it it up there or is it like middle or like low?
No, it's up there. It's more than Close Encounters.
Whoa. Okay. So this one's a big one for you. I'm not going to ask you, Alex, because I already know. All right. So then just Evan, this is going to be like when he was on the AMG. We kept asking if he had a birthday party themed to the character. I'm going to have to ask if he's seen this more or less than Jaws. That's going to be the new question for Evan at the end of each episode. All right. Well, anyway, that's the show. Again, thank you for joining us. And until next time, everyone take it easy, be awesome to each other, and geek out.